I remember the pupils thought that I was taking as either as a clerk or either as the secretary or something.
Someone looking for a job.
Yes, because you know I was in the motorbike and my luggage was in the back.
As a boarding, were you coming like a boarding school, like coming to board or a day school?
It was a boarding school,
school.
So I checked in as a boarder. Yeah. Then I started to walk into secondary schools. Yes. Like, would you take me in? I want to finish my Form 4. I want to finish my Form 4. So one of these schools asks me, did you have a bad record that made you to drop out of school? I told them no, I just lacked school fees. I remember I wrote what I've been doing, like I've been teaching.
How old were you by then?
Sorry?
But how old were you at the time you were looking for a school?
I was 29.
29?
Yes, I was 29. I went looking for schools, but I would not get one. So this time around, I'm visiting my in-laws. The same sister-in-law who resided in her side also shifted to the river. So I went to pay a visit for her. I would just look for places to let off. But then she was supportive. By then she was supportive. So I went and shared to her and I told her, I feel if I go back to school, I will have some papers and I can do something for my own. Yeah. Besides this job that I don't have papers, and if it comes to an end, that is it. So she told me, why can't you share with our pastor? And I went, after service, I waited for the pastor and I broke the news to him. And he asked me, young lady, do you still have those goals that you're telling me you want back to school? Do you think it is possible? I told him yes. He told me, I give you 2 weeks, go back, think about it, and if it is true, you come back to me. Even I was like, when will these 2 weeks come to an end? Because I need to see him, I need to tell him that this is still what is in my heart, in my mind. This is what I want to do. So when the 2 weeks were over, I went back again. And I told him, I really want to go. He asked me, wait, was your former school? I told him, how many marks did you score? I told him. Then he told me, why did you not finish your school? I told him the reason. Then he told me, then what happened? I gave him now my story, how my marriage now has crumbled. And I feel hopeless. I feel I need somewhere where I can secure a life. So he tells me, oh, why did you get yourself into this pitchless pit? He asked me the education level of my husband. I told him. He said, oh, I can see. And then that is the time he opted to take me back to school.
Wow. Yeah. That pastor now?
Yes. Yeah, that pastor told me it is possible. We've got scholars, we've got donors who can offer scholarships. So, in the same church, First Baptist Church in the river, where I was taken to, one of the church attendants was the principal of the school that I went back to. So he hooked me with her and we exchanged contact and we talked. So I was given a date to go and to see the school, whether I would like it or not. So when I went, I didn't care where the school is, what it looks like, because essentially what I needed was education. And by the grace of God, by April, when the school's now holiday was over, I had put everything intactly. I had planned now to take my son back home, and I'm ready to go back to school. So I go and calls. I arrange. I plan to meet my son, my brother-in-law, the elder brother-in-law, so that I will tell him what is in my heart. I didn't want to go my own ways without telling them what was happening. Despite my husband having left, and even after being followed, he didn't show interest of like taking care of his family. So I went and told them I've got this deep call in me. I want to go back to school, and I've gotten a scholarship. Blah blah blah. So he asked me, by whose sides? By whose sides are you going back to school to? I told him I am not on anyone's side, because you're not paying my school fees. My family is not paying my school fees. I have only managed to get a scholarship in the church. So I am not at anybody's sides. So the church pays my school fees. and I joined school.
Form
2.
Form 2.
Actually, the principal wanted me because of my age to join Form 3.
Yeah.
But I told him, I know joining Form 3 will only give me certificates. But I don't want certificates. I want colorful certificates.
Yeah.
Certificates that will pioneer me to the next level.
Very true.
So I opted to go back to Form 2. When I was taking in the school that day, I remember the people thought that I was taking either is a clerk or either is the secretary or something.
Someone looking for a job.
Yes, because I was in the motorbike and my luggage was in the back.
As a boarding, were you coming like a boarding school, coming to board or a day school?
It was a boarding school,
school.
So I checked in as a boarder. Yeah. So when these people saw me, they peeped through the window during the break time and they saw me change to the school uniform. They were like, "Ha, she's a student." So the difference of now being out of school for 10 years. I had been out of school for 10 years. Since the year 2003 to 2013 now.
Yeah, that's quite a long period of time.
Yes, 10 years.
Yeah.
And you've been a mother, you've been a pastor's wife, you've been a family lady, and now you're coming back to school. But this did not deter me. Anyway, I stayed because I really knew, I had that zeal because I really knew what I was going for. There's nothing that will deter me. So I befriended these pupils. And with the time, that feeling of being old, like you are different from us, it faded progressively. And we became friends. I remember this one lady that we have been friends even today. And yes, we've been doing things together. She's a great friend of mine. So that is how I joined high school again after 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you finished high school?
Yes.
You excelled?
By the grace of God, I finished high school 2015, November. And I managed to get a B.Con of 64 points.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I led in that school.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I led in that school. And one thing that I should register in this is that in that same school, my chemistry teacher was my former high scholar.
Wow.
From Machakos Girls.
Okay. Then from now you met again in high school.
Now this time we are meeting, she's a teacher
and I'm a student.
Yes, I'm a student. That kind of intimidation a person would feel.
Yeah.
But I never felt intimidated.
How?
Because she was very loving. We still are great friends even today. And surprisingly, our subject is amongst the ones that I excelled well. I got a B+ in chemistry.
Wow.
Yes. So I owe her a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and that was my high school.
Okay. So after high school now, where did you go
After high school, all this time around while I'm still in school, my son is still schooling. There is no point that...
By the way, your son, how was his life after you joining high school? Of course, the boarding takes 3 months, the whole time.
Yes. So now, when I made my mind to go back to school, I talked to my mom.
Okay.
This was the very, very, very painful moment of me taking my son back to my mother. And having felt that I had a vow when I was a girl, that bringing my child from my parents' home is not a thing. It's not my thing. But now this was the very lowest moment that I had no option out. I had to take him.
Okay.
Now when I took him home, my mom was very embracing. She embraced my boy. And how she took her to school, where she got the money, where she paid everything, I don't know. I just went and I told Mom, this is how it is. I have no money, I have nothing, but I want to go back to school. So my mom took him.
Yeah.
And they would spend time together because there were other siblings.
Yeah.
There was a nephew. No, there was a niece. There was a niece from my sister, so they would bond together. So I didn't know how he survived while I was away, but I remember he was very overwhelmed now to go back to Hub Country, a place that he's not big. He was not that big.
And the grandma, the way they take care of their grandchildren.
Yes. So now, after high school, I would not make seeing my son. Like naamka, I'm waking up on a daily basis seeing him, and there's nothing I'm doing.
Okay.
So what did I do? A former high school friend of mine also calls and tells me, Florence, what do you want to do now that you are done with high school? She's figure out what we can do. So I pack my things, I leave my baby again, and I go to Naivasha. I started doing grocery again.
That's now after high school?
Yes, that's now after high school in the year 2015. So in November, by the end, November is over. Actually, I am in a job. I'm doing green grocery. She tells me, make little money so that at least you can support your son at home. So that is from November up to November 2015 to early June 2016. I was a green grocer again.
Naivasha?
Yes, in Naivasha. And that served me well because at least I would make something I would sell for my son.
At least for upkeep.
Yeah. Excuse me, instead of now staying at home.
Yeah.
So now June is here, and I'm supposed to join campus. And I don't have money. I have not accumulated any money because, you know, at the end of the day, what you make, the little profit you make is what you send for your son.
Yeah, just hand to mouth thing.
Wow. And I felt overwhelmed. But I said, now God, that you caused me to go back to high school, I know you still have got the capability to take me to high school. And we prayed together with that friend of mine. And when we were about to go for the administration, a friend of mine tells me, why can't you consider this person? Because I had shared the feelings that I have no money, I have nothing, and I still want to join campus and I don't want to miss this. She tells me, why can't you call this person? And he is good. So he gives me a number of the BOM chair from the previous school that I was in. Then I calls him and I tells him my story.
Okay.
And he wants to know more. So we arrange on a place, we meet and I tell him. Then he asks me, what do you have? What do you have? Because you should have something so that I can have more. I tell him, Chair, I have nothing, but I'm sure I'll go to school. You know, this time around, my name, my ID name, because by the time I got married, I did not have an ID.
Yeah.
So I have got my ID with my husband's name. All my documents, my testimonials, my credentials, school thing, they have got my father's name. So now this is another problem. I can't apply for help without an affidavit. I have got to go this process and all that, and then. But so this chair agrees to pay my first semester's fee. Told me because of the resilience that I'm seeing you have and the humble humility that you have. I'll write you a check. The first semester, I'll write you the first semester.
Which campus was that?
Chuka University.
Okay, Chuka.
Yes. I'll write you this amount, you go. So he writes me 30,000. Actually, the tuition fee was containing my letter of admission and the check. Because I thought once I get there, I should know what is happening. I didn't go with the clothes, and I took myself. You know, this time around, I have nobody whom I can take. I still come from the same humble background. Things have not changed. But I'm fighting it. I'm fighting every bit. Yeah. I'm determined, like every bit I have to fight it out. So when I go that evening, I find the queue is long. I don't register that day. Because I remember by the time we were supposed to be registered, in the system, it is night. Some of the administrators have gotten tired, and we are supposed to come the following day. I don't have a place to sleep. I don't know anybody. Now what I opted for, I said, now let me just give my details and then I go back to Nairobi. When I went back to Nairobi the second, I took one of the girls' contact whom we were lining together. So she had registered and she knew everything. So I would ask her what is happening in the campus. Then the second week I opted to come. So now that is now when I learned that in campus you're supposed to have your own house.
Yes.
You're supposed to accommodate yourself, have yourself upkeep and everything. And all this while I was not psychologically prepared for that. Financially I wasn't even able for that.
You have only your school fees.
And I thought, like, how life has been in high school, that is how life would be. I thought you will go there, you go for classes in the evening, you go for lunch together, at evening you have your food.
Just like high schoolers.
Yeah, so that at the end of the day, you know that amount will be scraped from your school fees.
Yes.
And that was not the case. So now I also get stressed again. I don't have money for a house, I don't have money for upkeep, I don't have anything, I don't have a mattress, I don't have anything totally. So now this time I share with my sisters. My sister told me, now I just advise you to defer because you have no ability to take you to campus. Just defer.
Yes.
I told her no. Deferment is not my thing again.
Hey.
Deferment is not my thing. And I share this one now. I remember I even left my house, our house. I was living with my sister by then. And I went to look for Nation Media Group. I wanted them to have my story heard, so that at least I can get well-wishers to help me.
Yeah.
But now when I reached at their reception, and they learned that I did not have actually a date, they would not take me in. So these people, when they were interviewing me, they asked me, but you look like a bright student to the CDF officers, but they have not given me a hate. They have not helped me. Wow, my story was not heard. So now I went back again home, and I felt, now, will I give up? Now this friend of mine from Naivasha tells me, go to Times Tower. Tell the ward, I don't know whether it is the general manager or the person in charge of bursary disbursement. Tell them your story, so that at least they will write you a letter. You check to the VC to see whether they can be of help. And I went to those offices, I told them my state, I told them that I have no money. Please, I know that, bursary, the health bursary comes after like the first semester. But there is no way I can survive. I have nobody, I have no one, I have no finances, I have nothing. So they write me a letter to the VC. And I live there joyfully, because now the letter has been written to the VC. Kindly allow...
You'll be taken.
Yes, kindly allow this student to be in school. And when I go to the VC, and this is not the second week, orientation is on, and I've never attended any orientation because I have nowhere to stay, I have nothing. So this day, the very last day, it was on a Friday, the second week of now the first years checking in. I go and I meet the secretaries to the VC's office, and I explain my case. So they say this story should be heard by the VC. This is unique. We've not gotten any story of this sort. So it needs to be heard. So when the VC gets, actually he was in the inner rooms. When he gets this story, he tells them, go and tell that lady, we are not taking anything like this.
Disappointed again.
Yes. Even the total orphans, besides him, even the total orphans, we will not allow them to come in. I collected myself again and I said, wow. But deep down in me, I have got this confidence. I don't know where it came from. But I have the self-drive. I have got the inner will, and I know that something it will be workable. Somehow it will be workable. But now when I tell my friend from Naivasha, she tells me, let's now not leave any stone unturned. We have to look for funds. You cannot miss classes. Now, the 2 weeks are over, now the classes are to begin, and I've not even gotten a house, I've not gotten a room, I've not gotten anywhere. So she calls her mom. Her mom is a teacher. She's retired now, but then she was a teacher. Wow, this lady knows me, because we've been friends since high school. So she says, Florence opted to go back to school, but she's in this state. Her mother tells her, let her come, and give her 15,000. So that is how I got money, and I went back to school.
Wow. So 15 plus whatever you had, at least it take.
The other amount of money had already been banked. Actually, wow. I had told the chair to put it in school fees, because I didn't know whether I needed some cash for the other. So this 15,000 shillings is what I'm supposed to use for the whole of the semester.
Yeah.
For my upkeep.
Yeah.
Yes, my upkeep, my accommodation. So this time around, I go with my sister. I tell him, please come and help me secure a house. You look for the houses. I finish with the staff of registration from the office. So now when I go, by the grace of God, I meet one lady. She looks at me and tells me, you look a bit confused. Can I help? And then I tell her my story. She holds my hand and takes me to the Dean of Students.
Wow.
And explains my case. I'm registered fully. I'm given the names of the class reps. I'm given some people to help me. And at the same time, she tells me, once you're done, tell me. This lady again holds my hand and takes me, ensures that I'm given a gate pass, and she takes me also to the accommodation department.
Wow.
How it has been, how life has been. And then he tells me, we have got a place where we have cleaned. There is a room that, because of the influx of the students, there's a place where we have cleaned. It used to be a room for something else, but we can accommodate few beds. Would you love to go there? Then he said, oh God, I don't care.
Yeah, that's
provided,
what I'm looking
yes,
for.
provided I've got a mattress, I've got a place. So I eventually get a bed in school, in the school hostels. And that is how I ended up staying in school for the rest of my 4 years.
Wow. So after high school, after campus, where did you go now? Like,
after campus, I would say I've attempted several things. Because I have not gotten a job. I've not even gotten a formal job till today.
Okay.
But after campus, I have attempted teaching. I would love to become a lecturer.
Lecturer, yeah.
Yes.
A good ambition.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm still up for that. One day I'll do my master's, or I'll do my second degree. I'll still attempt to become a lecturer.
Okay.
Yeah, so after campus, I've attempted several things. I've taught in high schools, I've taught in primaries. I've also done anything doable. I've also sold water.
Wow.
Currently I'm doing fruit puddings and salads. Yeah, for a survival.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, before maybe you wind up, what lesson have you learned that you can advise people going through the same?
Well, I've got a motivational bit of like, even when life gives you the hardest shot, the best thing you can do is to ask yourself, what can I do to get out of here?
Yeah.
Not why I am here. What can I do to get out of here? Because despite the many times you can fall, if the inner you is not killed, you've got the strength that can propel you to the next levels. That is one. Two, if you've got a chance to do anything that you want to, like all the factors, the resources are within you, utilize them kindly.
Wow.
Utilize them maximally. Because there are people who would wish to have such, but they have lacked. Yeah. Then the other thing for the ladies, I have got a word for the ladies. Kindly ladies, if you find yourself you are betraying another lady's marriage, relationship, know that this will go in circle and one day it will come back to you. It's always good to preserve one another. It's always good to have the heart of human in you, so that you can be safe and your future generation can also be safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very strong words there. And you're a very strong lady. You're a very strong lady. From your story, it tells who you are. You're a very strong lady. And I'm sure many viewers have learned a lot. And from even your parting shots, many will learn a lot. And you have encouraged at least someone there. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching this story from our wonderfully and same time inspiring lady here. She has a very strong, very encouraging story, touching story, and also same time educative. So if you're watching this channel maybe for the first time, remember to subscribe and also drop a comment there. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Be the among few that will make it happen. So thank you so much, Madam Florence, for coming to our show.
You're welcome.
We wish you so well.
Thank you.
And you have fought so many battles, and I can see you winning, and you already won. Me, I feel like you've already won. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we shall keep you in prayers. You have a wonderful future.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, viewers, for watching this wonderful show. See you in the next show.